Hey guys, welcome to Champlin Garage. Today we're back with the 71 C20. And in the last video, we installed sound deadener all throughout the lab. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out real quick. But I'm gonna continue driving this before I paint it, and I'm just not ready to do all that stuff yet. I got a lot of other work to do. But to drive it in the meantime, I wanna protect this sound deadener, because as you can see, every little pebble or anything that gets pushed down on it, all of these, or even just from the grips on the bottom of the floor mats, it puts a little dent in it. So I don't want it to tear through that top layer and mess up the waterproofness of it. So for the time being, before I spend a large amount of money on expensive carpet for this truck, I went to Menards and I bought some indoor-outdoor carpet. I bought a 6 foot by 6 foot sheet of this indoor-outdoor carpet. And I don't know how well it tells up on video, but by the look and the feel of it, it's exactly like the carpet in modern cars. And this 6 foot by 6 foot sheet was only 20 bucks. And it has this soft back, so it's not going to mess with the sound deadener at all. So we've got 36 square foot of that. Should be plenty. We'll cut off the extra. We have some Velcro strips to hold it down under the feet, just because it's not going to be molded. Got a screwdriver to push through the holes for the seats and the seat belts, and then we have a little razor knife to cut all the edges. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this in here. I don't know how it's gonna work over everything, and up on the transmission tunnel we're probably gonna have to split the carpet and let it rest, and then we might have to add in a little filler piece, but we'll just have to see. So we're gonna jump on that right now. All right, it all laid in pretty well, except for over the tunnel, which I knew that was gonna be a problem. We had to cut it in a few places just to make it to where everything would flow over those curves nicely. As you can see, we have a gap up here, and I just put some more of that silver tape to hold it up. And I could have done that a little bit prettier, but I just did it the easiest way, and I'm sure you could hide that if you really wanted to. But like I said, this is temporary. And then up here we have these little carpet tabs, and I cut and push the carpet over those, which keeps that nice and tight up there. So it's not gonna move around if you pull on it. The other thing I wish I would have done is go a little bit longer on this edge. As you can see, it's not staying tucked under there. And I went through, and for all of the seat holes, which mine are different than these truck stock because I have bucket seats, I went through with the screwdriver, poked a hole through, went in with the knife, and cut a little X in it, enough to get the bolt down through. We left the extra up against the back. It's not gonna be in the way, and I'm not worried about it falling down because the seats will be in here, push up against it. So for 20 bucks, piece of carpet from Menards, and probably about an hour's worth of time, it changed this truck a lot, and it's gonna keep all that sound deadener protected for the time being. So I'm gonna let some of the stuff in this corner finish drying, throw some sound deadener in there, and we'll throw the seats back in here and see what it looks like. All right, I got that corner and this corner all rolled on with some of this sound deadener, and I went most of the way to the bottom there. And as you can see, all that black goopy, I put a couple different layers of seam sealer in there just to completely seal that up. There's a couple gaps between the body panels. Now for down in the bottom where it may get moisture in it and where I can't hardly get the sound trap in, I bought some of this barrier bond undercoating and sound deadener. And this is the same brand that all of the seam sealer is. I really like the seam sealer, so hopefully this stuff works pretty good. And then we should be done with the back corners. I want to sound deaden all this too, but I'm waiting until I get some speakers in here to see how that's gonna fit up. So So once that gets done, I'll be able to throw the seats back in here. All right, guys, here's the finished product. As you can see, we got the carpet all laid in. I left it long enough over here that we can tuck it in behind the door seal. And I let that 6 foot come up about to the bottom of the steering column, cut the hole for the bright switch, and then we cut little slits to tuck it in behind these tabs, and that keeps the carpet nice and stuck in place so it doesn't move around under your feet. But for a temporary $20 fix, I'd say it looks pretty good. And it kind of made me decide that I might want to go gray carpet in here. And I didn't show you, but I went ahead and I threw all 3 seats back in and got them bolted down, everything secure. I didn't show you that because I already have a video of what I did to install these seats. And I've only changed a couple minor things since then, like notching out the back rail so that I can fit a socket down in there to bolt the seats in and out. And I also added 1/2-inch risers under the seats just to get my seat height where I feel most comfortable driving it, because these are manual seats and they don't have that up and down adjustment. So I put 1/2-inch steel blocks under it just to hold it up, and to me they're at the perfect height. It's a little bit lower than the stock bench seat, and it's not near as high as if you leave the brackets on. And as you can see, I got plenty of room between the stock steering wheel and me, so I'm not worried about bumping the steering wheel, and I don't have a hard time getting in and out at all. So that's going to be it for this video. I think the next thing I might start doing, if I can't get parts in, is start on bodywork and go ahead and get all the dents, dings pulled, knocked out what I can, and start filling in some of the things with body filler over the welds and get all that done. I've never done that before, so it'll be a complete learning experience, but just tune in for the next video, see what either comes in or what we decide to do. Thank you.